According to National Electrical Code Section 110.26a, there must be sufficient working space to safely install, operate, and maintain electrical equipment. Working space is measured in front of electrical equipment, including gutters and other enclosures. In the described scenario, the gutter is part of the electrical equipment that provides power to the disconnects. It contains conductors and other components that may require maintenance or repair. Therefore, it is considered part of the equipment that requires 36 inches of working space. The fact that the gutter protrudes into the working space means that the required working space is not available. To comply with National Electrical Code Section 110.26, the block wall would need to be moved back to provide the necessary 36 inches of working space in front of the gutter and the disconnects. It is important to note that working space requirements can vary depending on the type of equipment and the location. For example, electrical panels located in indoor residential locations only require 30 inches of working space in front. However, in this case, the equipment is located outdoors and is used for commercial purposes. Therefore, the 36-inch working space requirement applies. Let's delve deeper into the specifics of National Electrical Code Section 110.26 and its implications for electrical installations. This section is paramount for ensuring the safety of personnel who may be working on or near electrical equipment. The working space requirements are designed to provide enough room for electricians and other qualified individuals to perform their tasks safely and effectively. The code specifies minimum clearances around electrical equipment based on several factors, including the voltage level of the equipment and the specific conditions of the installation. Firstly, it is important to understand the definition of working space as it pertains to the National Electrical Code. Working space is defined as the area around the electrical equipment that is necessary to allow for safe operation, maintenance, and repair of the equipment. This space must be clear and unobstructed to allow personnel to move freely and perform their tasks without risk of injury. Secondly, the dimensions of the required working space are determined by several factors, including the voltage of the equipment, the presence of exposed live parts, and the configuration of the installation. National Electrical Code Section 110.26 outlines the minimum depth of working space required in front of electrical equipment. The depth of the working space is measured horizontally from the front of the equipment to any obstruction, such as a wall or another piece of equipment. The required depth varies depending on the voltage to ground of the equipment and the presence of any exposed live parts. For example, for equipment operating at 150 volts or less to ground, the minimum depth of working space is typically 3 feet. However, for equipment operating at higher voltages, the required depth may be greater. Thirdly, in addition to the depth of the working space, the National Electrical Code also specifies minimum widths and heights for the working space. The width of the working space must be at least 30 inches, or the width of the equipment, whichever is greater. This ensures that personnel have enough room to move sideways in front of the equipment. The height of the working space must be at least 6 feet 6 inches, or the height of the equipment, whichever is greater. This provides adequate headroom for personnel working on the equipment. It is also important to note that the working space must be clear and unobstructed. This means that there should be no pipes, ducts, or other equipment located within the working space. Any obstructions must be removed or relocated to ensure that the working space meets the requirements of the National Electrical Code. In the specific scenario described, the electrical gutter is considered part of the electrical equipment and therefore must be included when determining the required working space. The gutter contains conductors and other components that may require maintenance or repair, so it is essential to provide adequate working space around it. The fact that the block wall is located only 34 inches from the front of the disconnects means that the working space is not in compliance with the National Electrical Code. The block wall obstructs the working space and prevents personnel from safely accessing the equipment. To correct this situation, the block wall must be moved back to provide the necessary 36 inches of working space in front of the gutter and the disconnects. This will ensure that the installation is in compliance with the National Electrical code and that personnel can safely work on the equipment. In addition to the specific requirements outlined in National Electrical Code Section 110.26a, there are also other factors to consider when determining the appropriate working space for electrical equipment. These factors may include the size and complexity of the equipment, the frequency of maintenance, and the experience level of the personnel who will be working on the equipment. For example, if the equipment is particularly large or complex, it may be necessary to provide additional working space to allow for safe and effective maintenance. Similarly, if the equipment requires frequent maintenance, it may be beneficial to provide additional working space to make the maintenance process easier and more efficient. It is also important to consider the experience level of the personnel who will be working on the equipment. If the personnel are not experienced or familiar with the equipment, it may be necessary to provide additional training or supervision to ensure that they can perform their task safely and effectively. The National Electrical Code is a comprehensive set of standards that governs the safe installation and maintenance of electrical equipment. Compliance with the National Electrical Code is essential for ensuring the safety of personnel and preventing electrical hazards. By understanding the working space requirements outlined in National Electrical Code Section 110.26 and other relevant sections, electrical professionals can ensure that their installations are safe, code-compliant, and conducive to efficient maintenance and repair. Consider the scenario where you are dealing with electrical equipment operating at 480 volts. According to National Electrical Code Table 110.26 AN, Condition 1 would require a minimum working space depth of 3 feet, assuming there are no exposed live parts on both sides of the working space or exposed live parts on one side and grounded parts on the other side. Now imagine Condition 2, where there are exposed live parts on one side and grounded parts on the other side. For 480 volt equipment, the minimum working space depth increases to 3 feet 6 inches. Condition 3, involving exposed live parts on both sides of the working space, mandates a minimum depth of 4 feet for the same 480 volt equipment. These distances are crucial for preventing accidental contact with energized parts and allowing for safe maneuvering while performing maintenance or repairs. The width of the working space, as dictated by National Electrical Code Section 110.26 ATWO, should be a minimum of 30 inches, measured either horizontally or perpendicular to the equipment. This width must be maintained from the front of the electrical equipment enclosure to ensure adequate lateral movement. Moreover, the working space should not be less than the width of the equipment itself, meaning if the equipment is wider than 30 inches, the working space must match that width. The height of the working space, as stipulated in National Electrical Code Section 110.26 A3, demands a minimum headroom clearance of 6 feet 6 inches with the height of the equipment, whichever is greater. This vertical clearance ensures that personnel can stand upright and move freely without hitting their heads on overhead obstructions. The entrance to the working space, as addressed in National Electrical Code Section 110.26c, must provide adequate access to the equipment. If the equipment is rated 1200 amps or more and contains overcurrent devices, there must be at least one entrance to the working space that is a minimum of 24 inches wide and 6 feet 6 inches high. When the equipment is arranged so that personnel could be trapped within the working space, 2 entrances are required to provide a means of egress. These entrances must be located at opposite ends of the working space to allow for quick and safe evacuation. The illumination requirements for working spaces, as outlined in National Electrical Code Section 110.26d, mandate sufficient lighting to enable safe and effective work. The specific amount of illumination required depends on the task being performed and the ambient lighting conditions. However, the general principle is that the working space should be well lit to minimize the risk of accidents and errors. National Electrical Code Section 110.26e addresses the need to provide dedicated equipment space for electrical equipment. This space must be clear of foreign objects and materials to prevent obstruction of the working space. Pipes, ducts, and other non-electrical equipment should not be located within the dedicated equipment space. This helps to ensure that personnel can easily access the electrical equipment and perform their tasks without interference. The National Electrical Code also addresses specific requirements for working space around equipment operating at different voltage levels. For example, National Electrical Code Section 110.34 provides additional requirements for working space around equipment operating at over 600 volts nominal. These requirements are more stringent due to the increased risk of electrical shock and arc flash hazards associated with higher voltage equipment. In addition to the requirements outlined in National Electrical Code Section 110.26, other National Electrical Code articles and sections may also apply to working space around electrical equipment. For example, National Electrical Code Article 408 provides requirements for switchboards and panel boards, including specific requirements for working space and access. National Electrical Code Article 430 addresses motor circuits, including requirements for disconnecting means and motor controllers, which may also impact working space requirements. Compliance with the National Electrical Code is not just a matter of following rules and regulations. It is a critical aspect of ensuring electrical safety and preventing accidents. By adhering to the working space requirements outlined in the National Electrical Code, electrical professionals can help to protect themselves and others from electrical hazards. In conclusion, National Electrical Code Section 110.26 provides comprehensive requirements for working space around electrical equipment. These requirements are designed to ensure that personnel can safely install, operate, and maintain electrical equipment. By understanding and adhering to these requirements, electrical professionals can help to prevent electrical accidents and protect the safety of themselves and others.